Stay. Stay. Leave it. 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 Check, check, check. Check, check. Well, I think it's working. What's up, guys? Sean here, Off Grid Empire. I am building a greenhouse. It is 10 by 10 by 8. I'm making it pretty big because I want it to be something that we grow into. Got all of the things set up for our garden this spring, as well as using this as a way to start a lot of plants and kind of get them going. So the big motivation behind this greenhouse was we have some friends of ours who actually have a big farm down south, and they have a greenhouse, so I thought I should probably have one too. So spring has sprung, and I wanted to kind of give you an idea of lay of the land, an idea of what I'm doing and how I built it. I kind of skipped some of the boring parts, such as framing it up, and maybe that's not boring, maybe I'll talk more about that. But basically I'm just learning how to do some carpentry skills and how to frame up walls correctly, and I'll walk through a couple things, the steps that I took to frame it up, the tools that I used, and then what I have to do next. So this is kind of a part one. So I've said this before, but I am not a carpenter. I look up YouTube videos, and this is basically what I figured out after doing some studying, some watching, reading, learning about how to frame this baby up. So I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I've done here and why I did it that way. So you can see so far setup is pretty straight. Did it how you would do a wall. These studs here are 24 inches. The panels are 27 inches, so they overlap each other a little bit, and you screw them into here. So that's why I did 24 inches across for each stud. So basically, these 2x4s, and I can do a cost analysis later. 2x4s, 24 inches, 6 of them for 10 feet. And then this is 8 feet high, which in reality is pretty dang big, but that's okay. Now today I am putting these like trusses in here diagonally to keep it from shaking. It's pretty solid, it's pretty heavy, but I want to have even more stability to it. So I put these bad boys up in the corners. So really the only tools that I have used on this build so far have been the DeWalt circular saw, 20 volt, the DeWalt impact driver, which if you don't have an impact driver, get one. It's way better than a regular drill. And the Matibo framing nailer, 18 volt. It's pretty sweet. I would suggest if you're going to do any projects like this, like more than 2 projects like this or more than one, it's a great investment. It's saved me so much time. You can swing a hammer, but this thing is just instant, saves you a lot of time, and it gets things going. So I've never used one before. It's battery powered. I was a little skeptical at first, but it's like a 22 caliber pistol. I've used a ton of 2x4s as well. For this whole project, I've probably used 50 2x4s so far, where I bought 50 2x4s. So, I mean, right now I just have the walls up. I'm stabilizing the walls, starting with a good foundation, and then I'm going to put the roof on, and that's going to be a challenge. The reality is, like I mentioned, I'm not a carpenter. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and I just kind of copied people off the internet. I've got help from my dad and my friends, but basically we're just trying to make this as solid as possible. I'll probably go a little overkill, and I look forward to getting some feedback from anybody who watches this video, because I'm sure I do a lot of things wrong, and we'll see if this thing stands the test of time. I'm sure it will, but another thing I should mention, that I'm using green wood. So I'm using wood that a friend of mine basically has a lumber, a tree company. He cuts down trees and stuff and gets the logs, brings them back, chops them up, puts them through the mill, and then from there I buy it right after he mills it, and then I put it up on this project. So I'm sure there's going to be some things that happen, cupping and warping of the wood as it dries, but that's been another reason I need the impact driver, is because it actually goes through the wood a lot easier.